Delina, what is a confirmation call?
A confirmation call is really a confirmation that the rep is the one who's going on that presentation with that rider, and just making sure that everything's buttoned up. And it's almost an introduction, because our riders are having different reps go. Often one rider may have 5 different reps, right? Riding along with them throughout their program, and they want to know that somebody's going with them, and that who to expect to show up and what time, and meet me out at my car. Letting them know what you're driving, because if I'm going with you, I might be the first time I meet you. I may not have been the one that did your demo.
So you're trying to make a connection over the phone.
Yes.
And preferably verbally, right?
Yes, we want to try to make that verbal phone call if possible. We understand, of course, sometimes we may not be able to get that call done verbally. We can then resort to a text. But if it's the first time that you've gone with this rider, I think it is very important that you try to make that verbal connection, because you can connect a lot with somebody over the phone in just a couple of minutes.
I agree. Hearing the voice is great. And I know, Charles, you are very active in the field, and verbally is great for the first time. But after 2 or 3 times with the same rider, what's your feeling on texting?
Text is fine. Yeah, after 2 or 3 times. We've always taught our dealers that on that very first initial confirmation call, we definitely want to have verbal contact, but then after that, immediately send a text message. That way the person knows we're trying to get a hold of them, but I still ideally want to have that conversation with the people. There's so much more that can come out.
Right.
One of the key essentials that I've found on the confirmation call is really having the dealer make sure that the rider understands that both people have to be there. I think that is a key element, because how many times have dealers driven out to the house and how frustrated they feel when they show up and only one spouse is there and they don't know what to do, and they almost feel like accusing that rider. But if we confirm it properly, and I'll kind of give you an example of how to do that here in a second, it eliminates a lot of frustration. Dealers make more money because their hold-up is stronger. If you get into more demos, you're going to make more money in this business. So we've always taught, when you make that first initial confirmation call, hey, are we good to go for tomorrow or Thursday at whatever, a couple days out? You always want to call a day or 2 before.
Charles, I wanted to kind of, before you go into how to do it, I wanted to kind of clarify how soon, because I know in our book, and when we get, as the program evolves, the textbook perfect thing is 24 hours in advance. Matter of fact, I think our emails even talk a little bit about 24 hours somebody's going to confirm, or even in our paperwork. But talk about the gray area there.
I think the gray area should be that 48-hour window. It doesn't hurt to reach out a couple days in advance. Why? Because if something does come up, now I have an opportunity to get someone else in that spot that I've basically set that time aside in my life to work in Rainbow, and I want to make sure that I can fill that time slot. So,
feel the same way, Delina?
I agree, and another side to it too is not only is the rep setting aside time in their life, but the rider is also setting aside time in their life. So, and they're asking their friend or family member to do the same. And so if they don't hear from you soon, too late, if it's the same day, they could start to get a little bit nervous, wondering, is someone coming?
Exactly.
And we don't want to create nervousness with our rider. We want them to feel just as confident as we do.
I like that.
We're going to be there.
I like that. And let's not forget about our marketing departments. The gals in marketing and the guys that are working in marketing, along with the reps. Sometimes if there is something, if life does get in the way of an appointment, we wanted a chance to go ahead and make the necessary changes so we can serve our reps properly. And help people win their programs, but also make sure our reps are thought about. Yeah, so that confirmation call is big. There's really 2 or 3 types of confirmation calls. And I think, Charles, you alluded to the fact that, hey, maybe I'll give you a little example of it. Maybe you can kind of do a confirmation call with Delina. A little ring thing that we do. And on an initial, like their first rider demo. Where we talked about maybe try to get some verbal communication going on. Let's try that.
When I do this call, the key part that I've taught our dealers to do is to confirm that both spouses are going to be there. So we start with the general. We're good to go for such and such a date. Great. Who did you speak with? and they give me the name. Let's say it's Joe. Great. And the third part is great. Does Joe know that Mary has to be there? So listen for that when I do this call with Delina. Hello, Delina?
Yes.
Hey, this is Charles. I'm going to be the rider coming out with you on your very first Book and Ride demo.
Yay.
Congratulations. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Absolutely. You're going to have a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to meeting you. I would like to let you know that I'll be there just a few minutes before our 6 o'clock time slot this Thursday. I'll be driving a blue Kia, and I want to make sure that you just look out for me here.
Okay.
If you can plan on meeting me at the trunk of the car just a few minutes before so we can chit-chat a little bit. I want to find out about the people we're going to go see.
Sure.
And you can maybe help me bring some stuff in. But I just have a quick question for you. We are good to go still with Joe and Mary for this Thursday at 6 o'clock, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and did you speak with Joe or Mary when you confirmed that?
I spoke with Mary.
You spoke with Mary,
Yes.
and Mary is for sure, she understands that Joe has to be there for this to count for you and me?
Oh, yes,
Awesome,
definitely.
fantastic. Well, I look forward to meeting you this Thursday
Great.
at 6 o'clock. And like I
All
said,
right.
I'll be in that blue Kia. We'll see you a few minutes before the demo at 6.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right.
Awesome, Charles. Man, that's so. You've obviously done that a few times.
A few times.
Yeah, excellent. You know, and one thing that came up is we do want to get that confirmation call done like that, and then do we end up with a little bit of, hey, and do me a favor, if anything pops up, call me as soon as possible.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you end on that?
One of the things is, one of the things you can do too is in the process of creating that partnership, if something changes and one or both of them can't be there, please let me know, because again, I only get credit if both of them are there as well as you for the program. And it is my time and gas. I'm driving about 45 minutes out to your place. So
Good.
Of course.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then also, you know, Delina, you noticed that sometimes when we call and confirm an appointment, then sometimes that person will call back with some questions. So getting that confirmation call done sooner than later with clarity, as good as Charles did it,
Yes.
we'd love for everybody to do it exactly like that.
Definitely.
But as close as you can.
one of the key elements I found too with that confirmation call is when we're on the phone with that customer, we got to make sure that we're smiling. When we're smiling, the tone of our voice changes, doesn't it? And it really sets it up right. What starts well ends well, and we are creating a partnership. They feel real comfortable calling us back if they have any questions, because they sound like a real jovial, friendly person, and it gains confidence in the whole program process.
It's attitude.
Attitude.
Great attitude.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
you know, that was kind of a little bit of a discussion about the initial call, creating that relationship. But after a person's been on 2 or 3 shows and they're on their way to their program and they're starting to gain some momentum, let's go over a little bit about how that call might be. Maybe you've ridden with them once before, but they've ridden with a couple other reps since you.
Sure.
Can we do a little sample of that? Can you role play that with Delina
I'll
again?
call Delina
Yeah.
here. She's been on 5 Book and Ride demos, and I already know that because I've checked my app and I've looked to see who she's actually ridden with. That's the benefit of our RBO system.
Yes.
And so I want to call with a little bit of pre-knowledge. I don't want to just call blank. I want to do some research before I make that confirmation call. Hey, Delina.
Hi.
Hey, this is Charles. I'm the one that rode with you on that very first demo. Do you remember me?
Oh, yes, we had so much fun.
We did. That was great.
Yeah.
We had a fun time with your aunt and uncle, and they got the rainbow. How are they liking it?
Oh my gosh, they love it. They call me all the time.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to be riding with you on your 5th Book and Ride demo again. I know you've seen a few other people. How's your program going so far? How's it been?
You know, this has been a lot of fun.
Has it?
It really has.
Yeah. Have you noticed that all the reps have kind of done the same demo?
You know, they have. They all each have their own personality, which I like because it keeps it more interesting for me.
Yeah.
But everybody's been really great, and it's been a good experience.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm going to be riding with you on that 5th demo, like I said. And you know how the program works. I'd like to meet you at the car a few minutes before so we can chit-chat and find out a little bit about the people we're going to go see. Just a few quick questions, so I want to make sure that we are still good to go for this Friday with Bob and Sarah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And again, did you speak with Bob or Sarah when you called to confirm?
I actually spoke with Bob.
With Bob. And
Yes.
Bob is aware that Sarah has to be there for this account again?
Yes, he is.
Awesome. It looks like your program's going along just fine. Out of the 4 demos we've done, how many people have kept it besides your aunt and uncle on
You
our
know,
first
my
one?
cousin also kept one.
So you've already
Yes.
got 2.
I do.
2 for your
Yeah.
4. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Way to go. Well, let's help you get another one. One
Yeah.
of the things that we found with our business too is, you know, we wouldn't be able to stay in business if we only had 2 sales. We're gonna get a lot more than just those 2. So now that we've helped you get your 2, can you do us a favor? Keep doing what you've been doing. Keep talking up your love for the rainbow and help us get our 2 as well. Can you help us do that?
Definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to meeting you this Friday at 7 o'clock.
All right, sounds good. I'll see you then. Okay.
Excellent, Charmaine, unbelievable, that was fantastic. And then, of course, some of that can be put in a text if you're not reaching them.
Right.
Definitely after the first one, text starts to come into play with those types of messages, and then you get that communication back through text. And I like to go back to the smiling, because if they felt that, then the texting back and forth feels warmer as well.
Yes.
Now, a key thing again on the text is we want to make sure as dealers we are verifying both people being there. Because the one thing that they can't do now is when I show up and only one spouse is there, if I verbally asked him or I've texted him, you've spoken with Bob, and Bob knows that Mary has to be there, they can't say they didn't know, and they feel really bad. You know, I've showed up to houses before, and they actually come out to the car and they meet me outside because one spouse isn't there, and they're super apologetic. There was an emergency, she got a little sick, can't watch the demo, and they feel real bad. Well, that shows you that you've trained your rider well. We've trained a rider well. They should feel, oh my gosh, I feel so bad. You drove an hour out here, and I do apologize. Let's get this thing rescheduled. So it does make a big difference if you plant that seed. They both have to be there.
Well, I'll tell you, that was a great discussion on the confirmation call. I can't imagine that that wouldn't help somebody that's getting started in the rainbow business, or even somebody that's been in the rainbow business, to clarify on the consistent approach to that process. That'll help. Not only it'll move the program along, but it'll also help them move their business along.
Absolutely.
Because that's what this is about: people building their own business within our organization.
Yeah.
That's the real buzz to the business. It's not about selling machines. It's about building your own team.
Sure.